Everybody, so I'm back again, and today I'm going to be telling you guys the story about how I got strangled in 7th grade science class. So there was this kid named, his name was Clay. Like, you don't know who he is. His name is Clay. That's a pretty generic name. So there's this kid named Clay, and he was super tall. Like, he was 13 and probably already like 6'2" or 6'3". And I mean, I was almost always the tallest kid in my class. He was like a good foot or two taller than me, so he may have been like 6'4" even. He had super long greasy hair that was never ever washed. It was like down to here, blonde hair. It's like bad acne. And not just like normal teenage bad acne, like he never took a shower, I don't think he ever washed himself. He clearly wasn't washing his hair, judging by the amount of oil in it. Anyhow, we were doing a science experiment. I don't even remember what it was, but the teacher put us in groups of 4, and I was put in a kid with Clay, a Jewish kid, a Greek kid, and there was me. And the teacher had put all of the supplies for the experiments in gallon bags on the other side of the room. And so for my group, we decided that I would be the one to go and get the bag of supplies. So I started walking to the other side of the room, and then I felt a breathing go down the back of my neck. And I just thought, this is so bizarre, and with my luck, something crazy is gonna go down. So I turned around, and Clay was like in my face, probably only like an inch away. And so I said, "What are you doing?" And he didn't say anything. I said, "Can you please give me my personal space?" You know when kids, like little kids, get angry and they start to like twitch and they're like, you know, like their face gets red and they get all clenchy? He started doing that, and then he raised up his hands like this. He put them around my throat, and then he pushed me against like the air conditioner thing. And he had me pinned up against it, choking me. I couldn't breathe at this point. I was pinned up against it for like a good 30 seconds. The 2 other kids were watching. They were flabbergasted. And there was about like, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 other people who were watching it happen. Turned my head like to the left a little bit. See the teacher. And she was turned around with her rear end up in the air. And she was like rummaging through her purse. And there was an assistant teacher in that class, but she was like out in the hall yelling at some other kid. So she didn't see it. So no adults saw it. There's like 10 kids who did see it though, like the 2 people from my group, then other kids. And then Clay let go. I like fell down to the floor and tried to catch my breath. He stormed out of the classroom and slammed the door shut really loudly. And that caused the teacher to like stand up and turn around. And at this point, the whole class saw Clay run into the room and saw that I was like sitting on the floor going like this, trying to breathe. And so they all huddled around me, and then the teacher was like, "What just happened?" And then the one kid from my group said, "Clay strangled Aaron." My name's Aaron. I haven't said that Aaron this channel. Clay strangled Aaron. And I said, I tried to deny it. I was like, no, because I was afraid I would try to get in trouble, because I was really afraid of the vice principal at the school. She was like a little person, but it was like a wolf in sheep's clothing. She was scary. This kid, he has a violent history. He attacked me in 3rd grade. He like took me on the playground like by my coat hood and like spun me around, then let go, and I flew in sideways into like a fence. He did that. He attacked other people. He attacked girls with scissors. And there are so many other stories that I can make about this, and I will make more videos about the strangler in the future. The next day, I was called into the social worker's office, and there were the social worker, the principal, and me, and the principal basically asked me like what happened, and I told him everything that I just told you guys, and he said they would handle the situation, but they didn't do anything to him. He was in class the next day. I mean, maybe he could have had something else, but I wouldn't have known, like another punishment, but he was in class. But I found out he did not have any punishment, because he told the one kid in my group that he had faked a diagnosis with Asperger's syndrome, which is high-functioning autism. And he got that fake diagnosis so he could justify all the stuff he did at school and get away with it. So he never wound up getting in trouble for that or anything else he did. And I'm just absolutely flabbergasted that when it came time to go to high school, my district had 2 high schools, like the normal one and then like the alternative high school where the crazy kids went. I can't believe they didn't make him go to the alternative high school, because he was really a threat to everybody in that school building. He attacked me, he attacked other people, he threw chairs, like I said. He even knocked out a ceiling tile one time by throwing a chair. So the administration of that school really should have done something. But the story doesn't end. So 2 years later, I was at home in the summer of 2016, and I was bored, so I looked him up on Facebook, and his profile picture was women's jewelry. I thought was kind of odd. But the thing that was so bizarre was that we had two mutual friends. And they weren't just anybody. They were my aunt, who I'm no longer Facebook friends with that's another story time in the future, and my cousin. And so we like never see them because, that's like a whole nother story time, like I said. But I texted them on Facebook and I was like, why are you Facebook friends with this guy? Like, I really need to know, because like in high school or in middle school, he attacked me, and and then my aunt said that she knew he was bad, but she didn't know he was that bad. And it turns out they've been friends with that family for like over 20 years, and my cousin and Clay's older sister were like this in middle and high school. So, I mean, Clay easily could have been at my aunt and uncle's house the night before having dinner, and then strangling their nephew the next day, and have not even been aware of that. But anyhow, that's one of my favorite stories to tell. If you want to see more story times from me, crazy stuff happens to me all the time. Like, I have a stalker. I almost got into a car accident one time. I have like tons and tons of other stories. So if you guys want to hear any of my other crazy stories, then like, comment, subscribe, and please share this video with your friends, share the channel, help it grow. The YouTube algorithm really works against new YouTubers. Like, I'm barely getting any impressions on YouTube, which is when like my videos are shown, like on the homepage or on the watch page, or even in search results. So like the algorithm really tries to keep big YouTubers big and keep the little guys little. If you want to help me overcome that, then please subscribe and do all that jazz.